Welcome to our channel. Before we dive into yet another fascinating mythy, would like to invite you to watch, to like, and subscribe to the channel. Also activate the notification sound today. Let's discuss about the lost alchemy of Egypt, bread of light, and monoatomic gold, the lost science of ancient Egypt in the heart of ancient Egypt. A secret substance was revered. This was no ordinary material. It was known as MFKZT, or white powder gold. Egyptian priests crafted it into conical bread, consumed by pharaohs, and offered to the gods. Life's treasures, considered the flesh of the gods, symbolized immortality and divine connection. But why was this substance so sacred? Monoatomic gold, or ormus, is believed to enhance spiritual awareness and longevity. It was thought to align the pharaohs with higher realms, granting wisdom and vitality. Modern science explores gold's unique properties. Gold nanoparticles exhibit exceptional electrical conductivity. Nanowires have been created using gold, enhancing electrical properties. This suggests a profound interaction between gold and human biology. Ancient Egyptians' use of monoatomic gold hints at advanced knowledge. They believed in its power to heal and transform. Today, the legacy of white powder gold endures. Its mysteries continue to captivate seekers of wisdom. As we delve deeper, we uncover the timeless connection between humanity and the divine. Pharaohs were not just rulers, they were guardians of divine secrets. Hidden in plain sight, hieroglyphs on the walls show them holding strange objects. Golden conis pyramidal bread of not of wheat, but of power. This power came from the stars. It was called monoatomic gold. White powder gold, stripped of its metallic form, reduced to a single atom, statin, visible to normal sight, but visible to those who knew it, was never just gold, was lifeite, was healthite, was lithe. Priests knew how to make knew the alchemical process. They burned plants, they refined ashes, they used sacred asmis, they used precise headslow careful first pause. The gold lost its metallic net. It became pure light in physical formed. Temples became laboratoriesti. Priests became alchemisti. Pharaohs became more than men. They became beings of two worlds, able to walk in this lifeable, to see into the next. Consumed the bread they drank. The elixirs, their bodies, changed their minds, expanded their spirits, unlocked these. Was not legianthis was a process receptatrict, kept from the common people, because it was dangerous. It could open gates, not meant for all gates, to higher realms, gates, to the ancestors' gates, to the gods. The Egyptian Book of the Dead speaks of this. I am white, I am pure. These words are not poetry, they are instruction. Pharaoh becomes pure by consuming beet. Ascending this was there with priests, called it the bread of light. It was not food, it was fuel. It nourished the spirit, it repaired the body, it awakened the sulfurs. Is why the pharaohs lived longer. This is why their eyes saw beyond. Their power was not only political, it was energetic, it was divine. Monoatomic gold was the bridge between flesh and spirit, between earth and heaven. It was hidden in plain sight. Every temple tells the story, but only if you know the symbols. You see the bread, you see the canios, see the stars above them, you see the rays of light. They were showing USD. We're telling us, but we forgot. Modern science now stumbles upon it again. White powder gold monoatomic elements in labs today. They see it superconductive, see its strange reaction, see it interface with Danathi, see its potential, but they don't understand it's sold. Ancients didn't call it technology, called it lifety, called it the Waith path. In Egypt, it was made by fire bee, water bee, earth bee, air bee, spirit. It took all the elements, all the patience, yield the wisdom, not a factor, not a machinia. Templia sacred act. Priests knew this, they guarded the knowledge at passed from mouth to urn, ever written, full and ever spoken aloudly, in symbolsonly, in ceremonially, in the silence of the temple. Beko's power is dangerous, and power without wisdom is destruction. Pharaohs were chosen pre-pred fovi. They could even taste it. It was not for everyone. It was never meant to bait. Gods watch its ancestors judged only. The worthy could hold the bread only. The worthy could ascend. The temples were more than stone. Were machines for the soul. Every pillar, every chamber, every symbol. It was all designed not just to impress, but To Aligno prepare the initiato, prepare the breadfer, the gold alchemists, knew the sky thee, watched the stars thee, timed their rituals thee, used the Nilothe, used the flood thee, used the sacred plants all, to make the powder all, to make the light white powder, gold it was not just given it. Was earned through trial, through sacrifice, through discipline. Ethan came the transformation art, magic not superstition but, energipia energith. Egyptians called it Heka. The power behind creation's power, that shaped worlds, the power, that the gods themselves, you said the monoatomic gold, carried Heket. Was Heka in material form it, merged with the body it, merged with the bloody it, merged with the bone set, merged with the sptet, unlocked the Kate, awakened the Bane Egyptian belief. Ka was the life for Seba, was the soul one. Both were activated. Pharaoh became a stara, living God book of coming. Forth by light, speaks of this not, a book of the dead but, a book of becoming, light becoming, eternal becoming, moral. Through the sacred bredel, through the gold monoatomic gold ancient path, ancient keyway, call it myth, call it story but. The stones speak symbols, speak the rituals, speak hand, they all say the same think this. Was real this, was truth priests. Worked in silence thee, followed the stars thee, timed their rituals with the heavens thee, knew the rhythms thee, knew the pulse of creation monoatomic. Gold was not just chemistry, it was celestial thee process, began with plants gathered under specific stars burned to a shredder and purified with sacred water stash, gave birth to white powder. White powder was gold, but not gold it, no longer shinned it, no longer glimmered it, carried light. But in secretus was the first step. Then came the metal gold itself calcindrant. It no longer acted like gold, it became monoatomixingal atomsocilatine disobe, 2. The naked eye invisible to scales invisible, to the world yet more powerful than anyone could. Imaginasipa sposivakiked, to thought responsive to breath. Egyptians knew thee, baked it into bread thee, called it the bread of presenseth bread. Of light bread, of ascension Pharaoh would eat not one senate twice but, in cycles ritual, after ritual after Yehi's body changed his eyes, saw Mare his heart became lighter his, Ka, and Ba, merged. He could walk between worlds, could speak to the Astorsh, could command the forces of natural, without leaving his thronethus. Was the purpose ethos, was the secreted divine technology it. Technology, without wires, without machinists it, was biological it. Was spiritual it, was ancient Pharaoh was not just a man, he became the living Horus son of Osiris, divine embodied monoatomic gold allowed it was the ladder flatter between realm hieroglyphs. Show him Klimingus and pyramidal breath white Kanethi Kyote, today. We pass these images, call them decoration, missed the message, missed the invitation base. This wasn't just for the Pharaoh hit. Was a mappet, was a guidea. Remindeth that man could be morathat, we are not Lockheednet. Bound priests wrote it, in stoneth. Ancients sang it in temples, breadth gold lights. Science was simpleth, purpose was clear transfiguration, transfigure the goldened, transfigure the manto, make heaven touch earthened, make earth reach heaventh. Book of coming forth by light, says it, I am pure, I am white, I am the one who returns, this was the mantrathus. Was the affirmation rating, not to dust but, to light returning, not to death but, to eternity not, as a memory but, as a living star. Star among the godsids pyramids themselves, spoke this truth not, machines machines of initiation machines, of transfiguration threech. Great Pyramid was not built for death, it was built for life for, the living for, the pharaoh for, the initiatory, passagery, chamberevery anglet, was all alignetit. Was all Tunetto, the starsto, the earth-toe, the Sulan, the king's chamber. The rituals were, Doneth bread was consummeth, words were sptootheth, vibration filled the stoneth air changeth. Initiate stood aloniand, the gold did its work monoatomic gold, carried frequency it. Resonated synchronized it, merged with the D. Today, is catching up one now, no gold is a conductor but. Monoatomic gold is something else as superconductive, the limits of metalit. Enhances lifeight, amplifies Signuson, the Bodian, the Minden, the Spiritan, Egypt. They already knew thousands of years, Agathai didn't need microscopisthy. Didn't need laboratorious thee, had the temple thee, had the rites thee, had the connection thee, called it the eye of Horus, the third eye, innocent activated by the bread bee. The powder bee, the process those who consumed it, saw differently colors, changed destines became musicic, invisible became visible. Ancestors spoke hith gods, walked in the initiate, was no longer bound, was free from time free, from space free, from death bat. Only if preparedly, if pure the book says it. I am pure, I am white, I am light. They were instructions not, metaphors Pharaoh. Now transfigured, returned not, just as a ruler bot, as a Biakarnas, a living bridgia, bridge between the divine and the people. This was Egypt's true power not, the gold in tombs not, the monuments of stone. But the living gold bread of light path of return it, was never about wealth it, was about wisdom it, was about light priests new thist. Pharaohs lived I tend. We forgot Midon science finds tracer superconducats, pointing backle, echoing Egypt's secret. Power of monoatomic gold still still, waiting still calling, but the story does not end. In Egypt it spreads it, Movesto Sumedo, Babylonto Israelth, manna of the Israelitwit, is it? That was the question, what is it? The meaning of the word itself manawit listestius, from the heavens feeding the chosen people, giving them strength, giving them life. Was it the same? Was it monoatomic gold? Many believe Swa fits it, matches it, neurisis it, enlightens, was trained in Egypt, knew their secrets, walked as a princess, learned from the priest's hand when he led his people. He brought more than losh, brought knowledge, brought the bread. Israelites gathered manna, daily like. The Egyptians gathered the powder thee consumed ithi servivet thee. Journeyed saw miracles there. Bodies were changed, their minds were expand, but they too forgot over time. The knowledge fadeth, rituals were last powder, became a mystery, but the symbols remaineth words, survived in whispersin, hidden textsin, sacred ordest nights. Templath, Essenis, early mystics thee, search it thee, guarded some say they found. It some say they still hold knowledgeth breadthlight not, just gold but, Abridgia Kiat, is mentioned again, the alchemical texts of the Middle Ages, the Philosopher's stone elixir of life powder, of projectional ways, whittle ways, transformative not turning lead into gold but, turning man into lightening flesh, into spirit turning life into Merethus, was the true great work, and it always points back to Egypt, back to the priests, back to the Pharaohs, the breadto, the prototo, the process. But the question now is simple: what happened? Why did we forget? Why did we lose the bread? Why did we abandon the path? Was it fear? Was it greed? Or was it hidden? Kept only for the few, kept by secret schools, guarded by silence, waiting wing for those ready to see, those ready to remember, those ready to awaken. Bess, the gold never left it, is still here in the earthen, the plants in, the stars in, waiting to be rediscovered, waiting to be understood, waiting to be honored.